Part 50 of Don't Say Schwarzenegger. In this part, I'm going to be going over the 2019 deposition of Alex DERVAL, close friend of all of the defendants, was present that night of the assault, and is now a practicing attorney in California. Okay, so on the far left here is Alex DERVAL. In the middle is his father, Bruno DERVAL. And on the right, I believe that's his brother, Alex's brother, David DERVAL. We're going to talk about Bruno DERVAL down the road, but before I get into reading the excerpts from Alex's deposition, I want to just brief you guys on the chaos and the confusion and the mistakes that happened trying to get this licensed attorney to just sit and be deposed about multiple attempted unalivings that he stood not 20 feet away from, but mere inches from, as I'll show you with proof, with photo evidence from surveillance footage. So I first, I think it was around 2018, 17, 18, that I started paying for and ordering all of these transcripts of the depositions, of the trials, of all of these hearings, because I wanted to fact check everything myself. And the more and more I bought them and read them, the more, major information would pop out at me, like, hey, why weren't we told about this? Hey, here's another witness. If you watch my series, there's a bunch of names that I've mentioned where I'm like, why wasn't this person deposed? Why weren't the police talking to this person? Like Jared Moreno and Lauren Diamant and all these other names, that we wouldn't have known about had I not read the transcripts. So 2018-ish, I'm reading these transcripts and I'm finding out names and photos from surveillance of people that were standing within inches of my brother being attempted to be unalived by this group of men, the defendants. So one of the names that popped out, two of the names that I've mentioned many times in my series so far, is Alex DERVAL and his girlfriend at the time, Alyssa Arnold. So I immediately went to my attorneys and I was like, you guys, I emailed them, my brother and I, we would like you to depose Alex and Alyssa in time for our civil trial, because this is insane. We should get them on the record and see if they want to lie under oath and perjure themselves. So we did that, and my attorneys responded. They're like, yeah, we actually, we deposed both Alex and Alyssa months ago, and they didn't have really anything of importance to say. And even though I disagree, after, I've read Alyssa's depo to you guys, and it has very important stuff, but opinions, I guess. But they were like, and just so you know, Alex DERVAL, and they literally described him. They said he was kind of like Forrest Gump. He's got something mental, something going on up there where he's, it wasn't even worth getting information from him because he's slower and, they described him as Forrest Gump. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm going to need the video deposit. I'm going to need the transcripts, and I'm going to need the video, the discs or whatever. I just want to see it for myself. So months went by of me checking in, asking for it, and my attorneys reached out to the other plaintiffs' attorneys to get a copy of the transcript and the video, because apparently they didn't have it. And then, then they were reaching out to the stenographer, trying to get a cheaper rate for me at something instead of $1,200, maybe $600 for you if you wait longer. All this stuff was going on. I'm checking in, maybe a dozen times. And then finally, one day, a paralegal at my attorney's firm reached out and emailed me and said, oops, our bad, we never deposed Alex. Oops. Okay, we'll depose him as soon as possible. We have to give him a subpoena and all that. So I was like, okay, I'm glad I caught that. Oh my God, I'm glad I wasn't charged for it too. So that got the ball rolling to finally get him deposed. So we get him subpoenaed, and this is where it kind of gets crazy. Okay. So just trying to subpoena him was work in itself. Apparently, my firm has one of the best people who does this in the state of California, and they tried 8-9 times to depose him at his work, at his home, at these addresses that they found and I found, and they then described him as Jason Bourne because of the way he was ducking and dodging us and everything. And I was like, well, okay, I'm going to hire an outside help then with my own money to get him. And when I went to go do that, my attorneys were able to finally subpoena him. He accepted an email subpoena. So we get the depo scheduled for Alex DERVAL for September 26th, 2019. And he said, nope, I'm unavailable. So then all the attorneys for all the plaintiffs and everything, and the defendants, because all their attorneys are allowed to be at this deposition, they all say, okay, let's do it like a few weeks later. How about October 8th, 2019? We'll accommodate you. And the night before at 11 p.m., Alex had an attorney reach out to our attorneys and say, he's probably not going to make it tomorrow morning for the depo. And so probably like, okay, so all of the attorneys who again are being paid by the hour or contingency, all this stuff, all the attorneys show up for the deposition the next day, and they waited like 30 minutes or an hour or something like that, and Alex DERVAL skipped it. A licensed attorney in California. Okay, so now it's December 27th. This is the third court date that finally Alex DERVAL shows up, 12/27/2019. He finally shows up to be deposed. And this photo I got of Alex from the website of the RD Law Group, which he founded in 2022. And as you can see here, he's a partner. And at this deposition, Alex said he was representing himself, which is really weird if you are a partner at a law firm. Why would you do that? Next, Alex is asked about his relationship with all four defendants. And first, we were asking him about Sean Driz, and he says he's known him his entire life since the year he was born, but he doesn't know him anymore. Convenient. And he says that he texted Sean just 3-4 months prior to this deposition. Alex also said under oath that the night of the attempted unalivings didn't affect his friendship at all with Sean. They're not friends for another reason, he said. Alex then says, and I quote, "My memory is horrible. I can barely remember what happened yesterday." He says that quite a bit through the deposition. Not the best character trait if you're an attorney representing people. I don't know if the clients of RD Law Group should be told about that ahead of time. At the time of the assaults, Alex was attending law school at Southwestern. Also, this man that claims that he can't remember what happened yesterday says that the night of the assaults, he had at least 5 double scotches at Ago where they had the dinner. And then he didn't eat much. Convenient. Alex is then asked if he's ever seen any of the defendants do the illegal white powder, that was found in all 3 Driz's home in 2017. And he says, "Not that I can recall." Alex then claims his memory suddenly works again, even though he can't remember what he did yesterday. But he says that when he went to the Nice Guy after dinner at Ago, he had at least 2 to 3 double scotches. So that brings the total to 7-8 double scotches, which that's not safe to do for anyone, my God. Alex is then asked if he recalls the attempted unalivings, and he answered briefly from a distance and sort of wanted to get his girlfriend Alyssa to safety and sort of left, end quote. Okay, that's a lie, so I'm going to show you some screenshots of the surveillance footage. See the guy to the far left wearing a black t-shirt, dark hair, black jeans, and black shoes, and you can see his right arm and his neck? That's Alex. See the thing happening to his right, and I made sure I got a screenshot so you can't see anything horrific that, TikTok wouldn't allow. But there is a person slumped over on their knees, slumped over. That's my brother. And then that would be the defendants kicking, stomping, punching, or about to. I made sure I didn't get a picture that was gruesome or anything. And that would be Alex DERVAL, attorney at law, standing, watching. From, in this frame, it's about 2 feet, but I have other frames where he's within inches. And here's another picture. That would be him to the far left, standing with the dark shirt and the even darker pants. The woman to the left in the white jacket, that would be Alyssa, his girlfriend. And that would be, again, DERVAL with his back to Alyssa, not paying any attention to his girlfriend whatsoever. In fact, in the video, if I played it on TikTok, which I can't, she's literally yelling at him and pulling him, and he's shaking her off because he wants to be, in it. So, my hero. Okay, I'm going to continue the last quarter of the brave Superman hero, best boyfriend in the whole world, his deposition. I'll be finishing that in the next part. Thank you guys.